All right. Hey, we're live. Welcome everybody to the fifth podcast feedback show. Oh, Zach, why'd you take them off? We were about to be a perfect triad of people wearing glasses.
I'm punk rock. You suck. I'm.
Oh no.
Your feed's a little wonky there, Clara.
Clara, you got walleye vision. Oh, Clara's already paused out once.
Well, you guys are pausing out too, so we might just be universally experiencing a rough time.
Running through my end, though, everything's been flawless except for your goofball feed. So
I don't know. There's a little fuzz tuft up there.
Oh, this thing?
We can see your little fuzz tuft.
A small fuzz tuft.
I turned my camera HD, so now you get to see the fiber optic show. The baby butt fine fiber optics. What they used my head to polish the Hubble mirror, make it work again.
Oh, so now it's all shiny and perfect.
Yes.
Like your beautiful head.
Lead us off.
All right.
Clara.
I'm going to jump right in. So we're going to start talking about the Philip Bond episode with Tess Fowler. Zach, get your ears ready because I'm going to say some words. Max says, "Damn, cancer is a fucking ass face." I bet everyone here knows someone's affected by it or who has been affected by it. My dad has stage 4 malignant melanoma since I was 12. I'm 32 now, and he keeps on pushing through his expiration date. All you could do is fight it. Glad JC and his family are doing good. Yeah, Tessa's episode got a lot of emotional feedback.
Wonderful.
On that
Did
department.
people like it?
They did indeed. Oh, Max is here. We just read your first comment, Max. Philip goes on to say, "Great show. Excellent work, gentlemen. And a special thanks to Tess for how openly she discussed her road till now. Also, Zach, what brush pen are you using?" I didn't make note of which one that was. I'm pretty sure it was one of the zebras.
It was either the zebra fine or zebra medium.
Yeah. So Philip loved Tess as well. Here comes Kurt. Kurt, once again, the greatest of all, says, "I was warned this was an intense episode." Yeah, I had a couple of people on my live stream that are also the podcast people, and I told them in advance, like, if you haven't listened to Tess episode yet, you absolutely should, because it's super intense. He says, "I was warned this was an intense episode, and yes, it was. As usual, I go away thinking every time. Thank you for that. Being interested is the best thing these days for me."
Awesome.
Yeah.
Super awesome.
That episode deserved it, though, honestly. She was amazing.
Yes, I told you Tess would bring it.
She's very charismatic, and she has no filter. And since the episode, we're now connected on social media.
Ooh.
And are you guys connected with her on her social media?
We talk from time to time.
I follow her Instagram and talk a little bit, but yeah, she's amazing.
I mean, she lets it all hang out. I mean, her whole life, she's got these biographical comics that she writes and draws.
Beautiful, yeah.
They're absolutely gorgeous. When she colors her own artwork, I mean, the watercolor stuff that she's doing is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, look, cancer can eat my ass. That actually sounds like a nice
pictures, motherfuckers.
He's trying to be nice to cancer. He's
I forgot, this is 2021.
Well, even cancer needs to eat ass every once in a while, I guess.
Yeah, I got to take a day off, eat a little ass.
Eat a little asshole. But no, she's lovely, and I love being connected with her now on social media because, I mean, every detail of her life is just out there for people to be privy to.
Yeah,
very courageous, and and you know, and she's just such a she's such a charismatic and interesting and fun person.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was glad you guys let me bring her on the show because I knew she wouldn't disappoint.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Andrew says he can't hear anything, so he's just going to look at Clara. Oh, he said a breathtaking, so it must be me. Hi.
Okay. You're the one with the breathtaking.
Which is my good side, do you think? Is it this one or this one?
Your good side?
Or this one? This one? But it's an eye test, everyone.
Better one or better two?
Number 1, number 4. Number 1, number 4.
I'm just trying to figure out which side of your beard has more gray in it.
No, it's just right here, this little thing.
This front gray.
Yeah.
Oh, JC's like a kid now.
Hey, stop, JC.
What's up?
Bring your skateboard.
I'm skating right now.
The background moving fast.
That was a hell of an ollie, sir.
Excellent. You remember your skateboard sound effect, Zach?
I
sound.
can't even remember how I did it. What did I do, Claire?
Ollie sound.
Oh yeah, that was I said the sound effects. Ollie, 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 kickflip.
Okay. Also for this episode, Old goes on to say, only 8 minutes watched so far, and I already have a crush on Tess. Clara didn't lie. Tess is the baddest badass.
Yeah.
Shout out Tess Fowler or Tess Gutierrez, however you want it. She says she accepts both.
And don't forget that her husband looks like Khal Drogo.
And he's awesome as hell. He does like sculptures and stuff.
Yeah. They're working on some cool stuff right now with 3D printing, like recreating one of her prints as a statue.
Yeah. She has a poster.
I got a last minute comment from Andrew J. Brown. I didn't have time to put in the paper, so I got it on my phone here. He says, what Tess had to put up with, it makes me so angry. Everyone that associates with this industry, the creators, the fans, everyone need to demand better from it. This shit has to stop. It pisses me off. You and all of us, dude.
The problem with the entertainment industry is why don't I just fucking crack that Pandora's box open? But money's the only thing that speaks. So, demanding things doesn't work. Unfortunately, people have been trying to demand better treatment forever. But I think I brought it up in one of these episodes, that go back to Sumer and you're going to see some cuneiform fucking tablet of an artist pissed off for being overworked and robbed from some asshole that doesn't know how to draw, stealing all of his money. Yep. It's as old as time. So, as we fight for better rights and better treatment in this industry, we also have to give the younger generation smarter education.
Yeah.
So they're better armed to deal, because the vampires aren't going away. There's money around it. No. So when one vampire dies, 3 jump out of the bushes ready to fucking take its place.
That's how vampires work.
Yes.
They multiply.
Yeah, through bushes, by the way.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a true vampire birthing? Gross.
It's in
bushes and ick.
Just stare at your hedges for 15 minutes. You'll see some vampires.
Just throw a bunch of garlic in there.
Wait, somebody noticed my OnlyFans page.
Oh, OnlyFans champ.
There's a lot of people that believe I'm doing my PG-13 shows. JC is it's like OnlyFans / Lumberjack Zach.
Lumberjack Zach.
And then now there's people asking where the fucking link is.
You said that's what would happen, though. That was
what now?
You said that's what would happen. That was your entire scam.
Yes, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to wait till a fan makes a Lumberjack Zach fan page or something like that.
Fan art happens, maybe?
I just have to add, I'm just going to have to stack up the OnlyFans thing with like Tinder and all these other sites that are out there that came out after I was married. Things I'll just never see.
Like Grindr and all those things?
No, I have Grindr.
Yeah.
Grindr I
have. Platinum member?
I thought it came with the phone.
It was the only thing on there.
I picked up the phone and Grindr was running, and the next thing I knew, I had some new friends.
They're really nice and earnest.
This is true story. My friend's parents' names are named Gay and Fred. Oh, and they're really old. He was like in his 90s. He passed away like a year ago. Mm-hmm. And so he said, I need some help on my computer. I keep getting emails from gentlemen inviting me to go on trips and to hang around. And I said, let me help you out, Fred. I said, what's your email? He goes, gayfred at AOL. I said, you're going to make randomly
type that in, just trolling.
This is how you make friends, Fred.
Gay Fred.
Gay Fred.
Gay Fred. You want to go fishing with me? Oh, I haven't fished in years.
I'm getting invitations to go on trips from new friends, and
they'll come pick me up. They'll come.
How was it spelled? Because the name Gay usually has an E at the end. Or
Not this one.
Not this one? Oh, okay. Even better.
No, good. I've been friends with these guys they're old. He went to college with George H.W. Bush.
Oh, wow.
That's how
like Skull and Crossbones.
Yes.
Secret society guys, yeah.
Like paddle your butt and take pictures.
Yes.
So you can be president.
He was so old that when I would go to Thanksgiving at their house, his daughter was a doctor, and every so often he'd be passed out at the table, and she would just take his pulse.
Aww, that's
he was very old.
I had in Florida, the first house I bought, it was an old couple in their like late 80s that would just water their plants for 75 hours a day. But I'd be out there, and we could only afford a house just barely. And it was just the yard was a disaster. So I was always working on it. Because obviously my career as a comic book artist was booming. So I squeezed in a little yard work time, and every day he'd be out there and he'd just say, "Zach," and he'd just watch me like clear stuff, and it'd be like a half an hour, and then it didn't matter where it was in the yard, you could just hear, "Zach, Rome wasn't built in a day, Zach." And his wife would be like, "Hush!" And it was just like, they were great, man. They were wonderful people.
What a quintessential old man thing to do.
Rome wasn't built in a day, Zach.
Zach, Zach, we're gonna be on what's that old dating site called again? Our Time.
Our Time.
Oh yes, Our Time. Hey everyone, join us.
T-minus 3 years to Our Time.
The run shop on Our Time. Get in there like 50 years old in one day.
I like the multi-platform you're exploring.
Do not join Our Time in your like 80s. You want to join in your 50s.
50 in one day.
Actually, if you're smart, join Our Time when you're in your 40s, and then you'll be like the young hot thing on Our Time.
Hey. We got another streaming comment, everyone.
Poor gay Fred.
Poor gay Fred.
Oh.
Let's see. Ready for questions?
Let's do a question, Miss Clara.
Alrighty. So moving on to episode 11 of PG-13, which we entitled "Powered by Nuns." Olga just says, "Wow, the fan art, amazing." I believe that was the one with the bowling monstrosity.
Oh yes.
Versus Rambo.
Our fan art's just been sublime. It has
been popping off. Andrew says, "Also know that I have to read Lone Wolf and Cub or Zach will get mad at me." I haven't read it yet either, so sorry.
Oh, it's mandatory reading as far as Japanese just long story form.
I'm definitely going for it.
Akira, but you got to read Lone Wolf and Cub. Entirely different type of storytelling, told all in vignettes. It's just amazing.
That's awesome. No, it sounds fascinating. I gotta finish Akira first, but I will get there. Okay, let's see. So our BLU Walt Simonson with the wonderful Dan Panosian. Max's first comment is, "The more I listen, the more I fall in love. I'm a big combat sports fan, to K1 and Glory, to UFC and Pride FC. With Dan being one makes me more like him. I'm also dyslexic and comics helped me to start reading. I love the honesty."
Great reading, Clara, because there's a lot of acronyms of kickboxing and old Japanese fighting organizations.
Hey, don't make fun of my dyslexia while we're doing this.
No, you did great. You did great. Yeah. It's always great to talk to fellow MMA cats or boxing or really anything. I'd watch two strangers fight in a park. It's just awesome. Everybody should fight more.
Well, the fascinating thing about Dan is that his father was a boxer and also an artist.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
But boxing's so cerebral. I always say this, once like a pro athlete learns how to excel at something so well that they can dominate everybody at it, it's so easy for a pro athlete to learn another skill. Because their neurons know how to do things. Their ego's already been conquered for the most part.
Right.
I'm working with Danny Earls right now, former pro soccer player for the Rapids here. 5 years in, he's already drawing at a professional level.
Yeah, he's incredible.
So who knows where he'll be in 5 more years? They're just animals, man. They're like laser beams. You just fucking stand back and watch them learn.
Yeah.
I should have asked. I'll at some point I'll have to ask him. I'd like to see his father's art.
Yeah, that would be neat. When I was working with Mark Nelson, the master illustrator, both his parents are artists too, and his mom. He'd like show me his mom's paintings, and she's like 90, painting these beautiful birds and swans and things like that. It's he comes from like everywhere around him. He was just surrounded by just phenomenal talent.
The Alien, the guy who drew the first Alien scene, Mark A. Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, yeah, that's him.
Oh, he was great. I remember those great.
You want him on the show? I'll bring in Mark. We're good buddies.
I read his Aliens comic when it came out. When I guess I'm going to say late '90s, early 90s, mid '90s.
Yeah, I had him too. We were doing Buck together before that fell apart.
I didn't know that.
You said you were doing butt together?
We were doing lots of butt. We concentrated. You only have so much time a day, so just stayed at the butt.
You had a comic book and the logo at the top just said butt.
Yeah, and flashing. Buck, B-U-C-K, that rabbit book.
Okay.
When I was Global Transmission. So we're doing it with Webtoons, developing it with him. I can't say much more than that, but we just remain good friends. He's such a good, nice, happy guy, and just freak level, illustration. He can just pump it out. Mike Rach and I want to do a book with him. We think we got a good idea that kind of lends to his thrust there, but we're going to be trying out 2 other books first. He's 2 other butts first. So we're going to see how many butts we can get going successfully.
Yeah. Before
we bring in his butt.
Yeah, Warren Ellis has agreed to write butts.
Yes, for blue butts. Poor old gay Fred got a subscription to it already, and he never even signed up.
Poor gay.
It was just automatic.
I'm actually his wife is still alive. She calls me all the time. She's like, "I've got a leaky roof." I'm like, "All right, I'll be over."
That's
I need to move my couch.
That's kind of cute.
I like the alarm that she comes over.
She calls me
for the making cookies.
I need a peanut butter cookie. Get over here.
All right.
Fire off there, Miss Clara.
Firing it off. Moving on to Olga. Olga says, Furiosa running from a donut. The way you delivered that was very funny.
The dumbest shit of all time.
I know.
I think that the donut is so big that it didn't matter where she ran.
At least try to run to the side.
I would have tried.
She ran straight for a quarter of a mile. You can make some distance going right. I think
how
it would have been
good. Was amazing. It concluded and an idiot woman who can only run in straight lines.
Damn it! This donut knows my only weakness.
Is there a technical term for a donut hole? I mean, could it be referred to as a cloaca?
A baking cloaca?
A pylorus, perhaps?
Oh, pylorus. You brought it up. My wife was all excited last night bringing out the medical terms.
Yeah.
So.
Good job. We made it back. Full circle.
A giant pylorus falling on Furioso.
But that's not even, why are they even called donut holes? Because that's not how donuts are made. You don't punch out.
Well, it's like an armpit. It became into being once they invented deodorant. There is nothing called the armpit prior to deodorant. They had to come up with a body part to spread that shit on. People that are into gaming, this is something that humans wear so they don't sweat and smell around others.
But that's only for when you are around other people. So we understand the difference.
That was unnecessarily cruel.
Hey, I had to come up in the gaming industry, man. I got carte blanche.
We've both been basement dwellers in our day. We also get it.
Oh God!
Bring on your hate.
You know, the sad thing is, I have to buy like nuclear deodorant because I get stinky after like 10 minutes.
Oh, you're one of those dudes? You got the funk?
Yeah.
It's genetic, but my brother can go a week without showering and he smells like nothing.
Weird.
Are you sure? Are you sure? He does not smell the family smell. You know what I mean?
Look at this nose. I can smell. I can smell, believe me.
All right, if you say so.
It's weird. My dad was the same way. My dad didn't smell at all. Like
this is how I do a lot of athletics my whole life. I've always sweated from my head first, and my body won't sweat as much. So I start sweating from my head right away.
Maybe that's where you're supposed to sweat from. I'm sweating from like the wrong spot.
But it's never smelled or anything. Luckily I've never had the pit stank. But
it's so bad. My wife has it too. That we that's how we know we're made for each other. Like we both stink, and we're like.
So do your children have pit stank times 50? Did Clara time out? No, she's there.
Okay.
She was just doing a super smile.
But we joke that our kids are going to be the stinkiest kids ever.
Yeah. Now, is it a multiplier or is it just an addition, the stink? You plus your wife, or is it you times your wife?
Well, hers actually went away. So after she did chemo and she came home, and now I'm the only stinky one.
Oh,
so
interesting.
The chemo destroyed the stink.
So, Zach, do you have head stink with your sweaty head?
No. I can water cornfield. It's this luscious, clear fluid that drips from right on this little tuft of fuzz right here, and then remember an airplane when he's landing the plane?
Yes.
It literally looks like the fucking hose coming down. When I played rugby, man, like out in the Mississippi or Louisiana heat or something, it was rough. I would literally lose like 10, 11 pounds of water in a game.
Wow. So, okay, describe your sweat stains then. Is it just like an elaborate collar?
Yeah.
Like when I go jogging, I have a nice sweat bib.
A sweat bib? Okay, the bib. Okay.
If I go long enough, then other parts of my body start sweating. And then eventually it gets to the point where my shoes are wet from sweat just pouring down cascading down my body. It was really fun for people to train MMA against me because I could just shake and they're let go of whatever they have locked in.
They grab you and there's a splashing sound.
That's it. It's my natural Viking defense. I sweat people. I sweat my enemies away.
I was telling Zach that I got ganked on a real estate deal. I was in Tennessee, and this viper came up and ganked a piece of property for me that I had already was ready to sell and had sold. And the only consolation was that later in the afternoon, I saw her walking away, and she had one spot of sweat right on between her butt cheeks. It was visible through her khakis.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh.
And that was the lady that was banging out Don Johnson back in the day, right? Miami Vice days.
Yeah, Don Johnson used to
Miami Vice coke snorted off her butt by Don Johnson with his little scruffy beard.
Yeah, and his sweet sport jacket.
Yes, that was a sweet one.
But if Don had seen her sweaty butt crack, he would come back. He'd be back. 30 years later.
Machado says Zach's never been choked and slips every punch. That's literally exactly opposite how I fought. I got my ass. I was just tough. I got my ass handed to me by the semi-pro fighters used to light me up, but I loved hanging in there with them. I'd like the legend to say that I have never been choked. Somewhere my instructor, Keith Oschlager, the painter, is laughing his butt off. He's probably going to knock on my door tonight to choke me out.
Well, you got to sweat first, and then he won't be able to get you. All right. Here's an interesting one that I actually this could be something. Kurt says, I have a rando question. Would it be possible, or am I being presumptuous? But in any way, could we get the same files of Blue Line that you have sent to the other artists for those who have time, want, or need to try their hands at inking the same?
Oh, me likey.
That we could, in many cases, I think we could do that. We'd have to make sure we had like whatever relevant permissions. But yeah, if we had those files, I could put them on the Patreon and they could be downloadable.
It's just fan art. We're cool.
Yeah.
And we'll post them on Patreon and on our social media. Good suggestion.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea. Yeah, he goes on to say the variation between the two alien inks was great, and I love seeing each person's take on it. And as always, a very fun episode. Yeah, I read that and I was like, why didn't we think of that? That's a wonderful idea.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah.
Clara, you're fired for not thinking of that already.
I deserve that. I should have thought of that. That's going to be wonderful. And then we get, just that much more fan art and interaction and, people.
A lot of fun.
Posting their.
Consider it done. We'll start doing that. Machado says my sweaty head would help. Actually, you're right. When you go no-gi, you can shake out it. With my level of sweat, I can salamander almost out of anything because I'm strong too and big. So I can go caveman shaking and people can't hang on to things. Yeah. Didn't help with the punching. I still got lit up.
Unfortunately,
except there's some cool Rocky, I'm sure, splashes coming off my head as young future fighters are pummeling me. So, Kurt Kroll, just fan art. Yeah, see, he's right about that. Kroll's always right. And you just took him away from the set of Kroll 5. So, my lord.
They're up to Kroll 83. Come on, don't downplay him.
I'm running out of Kroll graphics to It wasn't a long-lived franchise.
Oh, damn it. Just do variations of the fucking Cyclops.
Just get closer up to the eyeball.
I'm here to help.
Hold on, what was this? Okay. So this is for, wait a minute, this is still for the Simonson, I believe.
Oh, Clara.
I'm the worst, right? Okay. Andrew says, this episode was perfect timing. I've been going through Walt's Thor run, and his art is the best. He's become one of my all-time favorite artists now. Good call.
There you go. The energy. I had to, it was weird inking him because I had to make some decisions. Mm-hmm. I faded blacks with those directional lines, but then I made solids on like the head and things like that because I always drew the aliens. I liked them as kind of like fucking race cars, man.
Yeah.
They're so it was interesting then to see Dan do what I normally do on fucking everything and start noodling away on it and using his lines to kind of inspire these bizarre textures that were just stunning.
Yeah, I was just watching that build. I don't even understand the decisions he's making. I don't know why they are coming out so
he's
perfect.
Just surfing, guys. There's so much experience and knowledge in that head. He's just surfing.
Wow.
His fucking toes on the edge of the board.
Yeah, Simonson's probably my top 3 all-time favorite artists.
Yeah.
And I like, the funny thing about the Thor
run. The other two.
Well, if you
Jack Howard and Claire Me. Hey!
Yeah!
But if you look through the those Ultimate editions where they have all of the Thors collected, it's kind of interesting to see his evolution through that series. Because when he starts off, I mean he's fully Simonson from the beginning, but things are a lot more rounded for the first dozen or so.
A little bubbly, little wonky on faces here and there.
Yeah.
By the time he got an X Factor, holy shit, was he a savage?
Oh, big time.
That's my favorite. I don't even give a fuck about those characters, and I still love the books.
Me too. The covers alone.
Yes, with Archangel and everything. I used to buy it every fucking week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I read them all. Used to just look at his pretty art.
He was awesome, and with Wyasek inks, he didn't even ink the X Factor stuff.
Yeah, Wyasek's brilliant. Line inker. So, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Simonson was fun because neither of us looked like Simonson in the end. And wow, did we go different directions into the
they were both so beautiful though. Like all the stuff you guys make on the show is really cool, but that one was just like, wow. I just love them so much.
Well, cool, man.
Second question from Andrew for that episode. Do either of you fall into drawing in almost two different styles, whether you're doing pinups, full pages, spreads, and sequential pages? I noticed when I do sequences, my pages are more kinetic and have more energy, and then my pinups lean more towards photorealism. Can this kind of inconsistency lead to less work opportunities? I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I mean, when you're doing a pinup or a cover, you're concentrating on one image. When you're drawing a page, it's a contiguous process, and you get in a rhythm, and there's a lot of images on the page in concert, so no one image matters as much as, say, a pinup or a cover.
Yeah.
I mean, generally, obviously, but yeah, don't think about it too much. As far as job opportunities, just get better, kick ass, and people take notice.
Yeah.
It's not magic. The magic's in the fucking what happens after you've been grinding for a while, because people will take notice, and it does feel like magic all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But don't worry about this piddly shit like, well, my one style in this or this one panel, I kind of falter. Just keep making shit and make it better each time. Make sure you're just better tomorrow, and I promise you, it ain't gonna matter. You know.
I would even go so far as to say, don't worry about style at all.
Yeah, quit overthinking things.
Yeah.
I think more about storytelling and what you're trying to say, darkness, textures, and your personality and brain and hand are going to create a style anyway. Simonson didn't start out, this is my style, and there's Style Mountain, I'm going towards that direction, I'm going to develop it the whole time. He just started fucking drawing the book. Yeah. And then by year 4 of Thor, he's a whole different animal.
Right.
You know, still the same person, but he's a bad motherfucker now by the end of Thor.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to be. You just go on the journey. You got to just go on the journey and stop worrying about what are the 5 pieces I need to have in my portfolio. Who do I need to talk to? Because none of that shit, it's all serendipity anyways in the end. Mm-hmm. Until you have the skill set where people are willing to pay money for it. Mm-hmm. If that's that. And your personality only matters so much. I know a lot of shitheads making lots of money in this industry. So work on your art. Yeah. Be a good person. Because somebody has to balance JC out. But
I wasn't paying attention. I was just scrolling through our time on my phone here.
Setting up your profile?
Yeah, I tried to find a younger picture of myself.
You with a tennis racket with like a sweater tied around your neck?
And a beanie, with a propeller beanie?
It shows me with a family with just a big X over my wife's face.
My twin brother. Oh man.
Our time.
Okay. Whew. All right. Episode 12 of PG-13, gloriously entitled "It's Not My Fault I Was Radioactive." Max is coming for us, so let's see what we decide about this. He says, "Did Clara just say a bad word? She called Zach a bastard, and I don't know how Clara was raised, but I wasn't allowed to say that when I was young." There's the thing, though. Here, well, let me finish what he said.
Hold on, we're gonna let JC. Oh no, we can run a poll on our fucking site.
We can run a poll, but
I want my Kumite T-shirt.
Okay. I will gladly.
I think I won, JC. Nobody ever thought this would happen.
I will gladly buy it for you if that is what the poll says. Would like to point out, though, for the eagle-eyed listeners, I have called you a bastard on the show before.
So how many T-shirts do you gotta buy me? I gotta fucking send a sketchbook out every fucking time. That's like 11 out of 12 episodes. I'm sending a fucking sketchbook.
All right. Well, we'll see. We will see. I will make I'll make a poll about this.
Come for me, everyone. I need a Kumite T-shirt. I'll also accept Shona.
He needs to sweat in it.
I gotta get the sweat bib going. I'm going to take a picture jogging. Like after 5 minutes, it looks like I'm an ultra marathoner.
You better do that. You better follow through.
I didn't know there was such a thing as a sweat bib.
Well, I made it up today, but I just have this ever-growing ring of sweat starting at my neck, radiating outward. Remember the hyper clothing? Clara, you may not remember this.
What, hypercolor? Yeah.
Hypercolors, that's what it was called. Remember, JC, they'd work like 2 times and then you'd wash them and then they stopped working?
Well, we only had one girl in my grade bought it, and her name was Chastity. No. I think her name was not Chastity. I think it was Chastity. Her name was Chastity.
So not a word.
It was like the mix between a chassis
and chassis and it's a chase chassis?
A chase chassis.
Chastity used to wear those.
Yeah, back in the day they were great because you could go and be like bright orange on your shoulder for a little while, and that's how I sweat. It's sweat clothing.
We never did that on the shoulder. It was always right down towards the cloaca.
You did it over the cloaca.
You had to have a bright pink cloaca.
That's how you know you're beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, I bring back that shit. Bring them back in fat lace form. I want fat laces made of hypercolors.
So you gotta constantly be like breathing on your shoe.
Yes.
I think they should have Speedo bathing suits made of that material.
That'd be great.
The only thing that would change though would be if you farted.
Well, that's it. Have it at an eating contest. All first person to change their britches colors is kicked.
Oh God.
I think a fart could change the color. Yeah.
Oh, how could it not? Moisture, heat, intensity.
It's like
just intensity. Cajun spice.
Velocity.
Spice.
Spice.
I don't know, an eating contest. You're gonna have food.
Whoa, that's a Cajun fart, son. Whoa. Ooh. Got that crawdad spice on it.
So yeah, we will put up a poll about that and see what the.
Give me my T-shirt. Clara owes me T-shirts.
We'll find out. I'm happy to buy it for you if that's what the people say.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. Kurt says, and I have to read the accent here. He did even the crabs cried when the Colts left, which is Baltimore for even the crabs cried when the Colts left, which is hard to say on its own. And as you can see, as I asserted originally, I do not have a Baltimore accent, so I couldn't even land that.
You're from Maryland, lady.
I am.
You're from Baltimore, aren't you?
No, I'm from outside of Baltimore. We were a good 30 minutes, hour outside of Baltimore.
Okay.
Like, I don't pick up accents. My voice, like I've lived in New York City and Atlanta and all this stuff, and my voice hasn't changed, so I don't know.
Well, I thank you for that. Baltimore accents are insufferable.
Oh,
so ask John Waters anything and you want to punch him in the face.
Just for that, I'm going to learn it, just for you.
There you go. I want you to talk like John Waters, though. Ew, just like get the grow your mustache out, Clara.
Yes. I'll stop.
He's got this. He's got this, not this.
Yeah, he's got the pencil like villain mustache, like Michael Jackson's dad had.
Yes,
that's right.
It's only villains have that mustache. There's no person that's like saving kids in a foreign country that has that mustache.
Did you guys notice when there was like for about 5 minutes Michael Jordan grew a Hitler mustache?
And he was in a commercial selling underwear.
It was an airplane commercial where Michael Jordan's on the airplane.
Underwear.
He leans over and he's got a Hitler mustache. And I'm like, am I the only one who notices that Jordan's got the Hitler mustache?
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe he's a Charlie Chaplin fan. Maybe he likes
there you go.
He could be Chaplin.
Here you go. Kurt's teaching you how to speak Baltimoreese.
Worst opinion.
He says, I unfortunately have lived just south of Bullmore my entire life. He's got it down pat.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's a rough one. Up in Connecticut, they're not too bad, but every once in a while you get something weird coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
All those East Coast, they got a little bit of stink on their vernacular.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. As long as you don't speak like you're from Boston, that's the rough.
The closer you get to Boston.
Whew!
See, I can do Boston. I think anyone can do Boston.
No, you can't.
You just have to say
Sorry.
Boston.
Sorry, Clara. No, you can't.
I'm trying. Give me a break.
That's not Boston.
Wow, where was that Bostonian that just came in?
Boston.
Whoa, was that Matt Damon? That sounded like Matt Damon.
That was Matt Damon playing Red Sox baseball.
I can do Boston better than I can do Baltimore. So there you go.
That was
Hope you all are happy.
She can do Robert Kraft really well.
Ooh, Robert Kraft is ravishing.
Yes.
I'm not gonna try anything from here on out. You all hate me and my accents. Whatever. Y'all are mean.
She doesn't know who Robert Kraft is, but she knows what he needs.
He owns the Patriots, and he's a fan of.
He's a fan of the sex slave trade out of Florida.
Oh, great! What's his voice sound like?
80-year-old fat man. Just
okay.
It's not too Bostonian. I was just saying Robert Kraft because he's
he owns the Patriots.
Yes.
Okay. I would never have known that. All right, let's see.
Sorry.
Ooh, moving on to other fun subjects. Olga says, date rapes in movies you love. Ahem, ahem, Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah, we went over Rocky.
Revenge of the Nerds.
Because, Revenge of the Nerds is definitely date rape. You're pretending to be somebody else.
Yep. Cannot wear a mask and pretend to be somebody else, and that is not voluntary.
No, there's some rough stuff. But Rocky, I was like talking about, that's just the best movie. And then there's date rape in it. It's like, I don't know, Adrian, just you lay down here in the corner. I just,
he's like,
it's over, right? So, hey, we're dating now. It's like, oh, she says no. And Rocky's the hero.
I blocked that out.
That's what we were talking about. Everybody blocks it out because everybody loves Rocky.
Yeah.
But he's a date rapist.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
And it's not like, oh, that's not date rape. No, it's date rape. He shoves her into the floor when she's trying to leave.
Yeah.
And turns her into a bride.
Yeah.
And then they were married, and then they had a kid.
Oh, no.
That's how it goes. I don't wear condominiums. I never wore them.
And this is courting.
I was trying to come up with a way Blade Runner was any better. In my head, it was like, well, there's a good chance they're both robots. But it's like, no, I don't need to excuse.
I told the snake lady story too, right?
That's right. That's right. You met the snake lady.
I wrote a dude from Boston to Worcester. I wrote in a limousine with snake lady from Blade Runner. So I had to tell that
Did she rape you?
No, she didn't think I was a porn star though. That's the first question she asked me. She's like, she just turns and like flops down into the limo, turns to me dramatically, waits, pauses, and goes, "What are you, some kind of fucking porn star?"
You should have looked over and been like, OnlyFans.
Lumberjack Jack.
That speaks volumes about a person if that's their first question. Really does.
Yeah, she was an interesting lady. So she'd just recreated her snake lady dance at like age 72 or something.
Wow.
With no shirt. And she was showing it to me on the ride. And I had to have Megan. Then I called Meg the second I got to the hotel. Look at fucking snake lady now. I've seen snake lady a lot.
Didn't you say she was also distracting the driver to an alarming extent?
No, I don't know about that. She was just she was classic, just kind of like B-level Hollywood lady.
Dude, I just tracked down Snake Lady. Guess where she is?
Where is she?
Our Time.
Our Time? Whoa, yes! Dude.
She's still got the snake.
Hey, I got an in with Snake Lady. I got the in.
I just
Name dropped me with Snake Lady.
I just poked Snake Lady.
Tonight.
I just poked Snake Lady on Our Time.
We'll bring sangria.
Just be like, remember that guy in the limo? Surprise! Because there haven't been any guys in limos.
We both show up. It's the middle of the night, but we still have our tennis racket. Go slung over our shoulder.
My profile picture on Our Time is actually just Harrison Ford.
That would work. That would work.
I don't think his wife's qualified for it, though.
He's too old to be on there now.
Yeah, they say every time they're like, we're making another Indiana Jones. I'm like, how? Well, is he just going to be like in a walker? Like, oh, oh, oh.
The whole movie is actually just a movie of him watching his old movies.
Yeah.
Wearing the hat.
Glory days.
I mean,
It's an art film.
Yeah.
It's like Dinner with Andre, but
he's like, remember when I jumped over the...
Oh, I could whip. I learned how to whip. That's not CGI. That's real whipping.
They dug a trench and they dragged me through the trench. Then they sped up the film. I didn't even have my blaster or my Wookiee.
Oh, that Wookiee. Don't get me started.
This is what I genuinely wonder.
There's a lot of downtime filming with the British.
So much tea.
Sorry, Clara, go on.
I was just going to say, this is what I wonder about, because they're doing a second season of the Picard show now. And
Yes.
I'm just like, I liked the first one, but in my mind, at a certain point, if your star is that old,
He can't even talk. Hey, I'm Picard. He's just like,
How old is Picard?
you need to come on an adventure with me, Data.
Alexa, how old is Patrick Stewart?
It's like 86.
Patrick Stewart is 81 years old.
81.
Oh, is it? I guess the 80s. That's old as shit.
Shatner's 90.
Yeah. I don't know if it's all the scallops or what, but that motherfucker keeps on trucking.
He still rides his horse.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
insane. He does music with Henry Rollins. I mean, what
Yes.
the fuck is that?
And they're like
What?
pals. They hang
Oh,
out.
I'm sending you one of the greatest songs ever, Clara.
Okay.
Look up Shatner, Rollins. I can't get behind that. One of the greatest songs of all time.
All right, I'll get to that. Olga also adds at the end of that comment, also Clara's evil laugh made me laugh so hard.
Maniacal.
Yes, he got a terrible hand in Super Fight, and I'm going to actually win this one.
She's still lost because she died of radiation poison.
No, the votes are probably in. I need to check them. But per Blade versus the Cactus, there's usually comments on the polls, by the way, but I'm adding this one because it was so magical. Kurt says, I think the cactus was dreaming due to the boredom of being in an orthodontist's office all the time.
Well, there you go.
He's just like, what?
Yeah, JC, you're missing our play along with Super Fight. Kurt even bought the game, I think, or somebody bought the game recently because
That's right.
of us.
It's
Yeah,
super fun though. It's great to play with family.
you would enjoy it, JC.
I'll get my hands on it.
Yeah, I think
Called Super Fight. It's just a card game. It's just you and your best bullshitter friends. It's gold.
Yeah, you will learn some weird things about people.
One more thing about Shatner. Do you know his song "Common People" that he did?
Of course.
I think
That's on the same album as Henry Rollins.
Fantastic.
I like it better than the original.
I do too.
She wants to be with common people. She wants to see what common people see.
Because is he still doing like the spoken word thing?
Yeah. So Common People's the other one. It's a brilliant cover of an 80s shitty song.
Yeah.
Just poppy song. But he talks.
I think he did it with Ben Folds.
Ben Folds 5 guy.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your Shatner factoid. That whole album's good. He has a good song about his daughter. He has a song called like Never Been. Like people call him a has been. He's like, hey, never been. You've never fucking been anything. At least that was fucking something.
Ooh.
It's true.
Throwing a little fucking dick sweat out there.
He's like,
my grandma never missed TJ Hooker.
Some hard time dick sweat from TJ Hooker.
Hold on, Kurt Kroll says it was something. Kurt, if you get a chance, tell us what your favorite verses was in your Super Fight round, because that's always good to hear.
Yeah.
JC, the one we were talking about, it was Blade the Vampire Hunter versus a potted cactus.
He just showed his foot porn off. He slipped out. Our time is lighten up.
This is going to be my our time.
Oh! Podiatry porn. That's what gets off and
no bunions. I don't have any bunions.
Look how they're not decrepit. They don't smell like cheese curls.
I'm a bunionless 50-year-old.
Completely free of bunions for at least a year.
I have a certification to prove it.
No bunions.
You're flapping that around like it's not attached to you.
It's Conor McGregor's split after the fight. Fucking leg is flopping.
Whose leg? Oh gosh.
Oh, hit us up, dear Clara.
All right, got two more here. So we're starting to get a little more attention on our YouTube. We're up to 116 subscribers, so that's awesome. Oh wait, hold on. Kurt's delivering 100 Mafia Dons with arms of Queen and Girl Scouts and legs of Bruce Lee and the Hulk and 100 of them.
Oh, that's pretty damn solid game right there.
We lost a lot.
That's pretty epic, sir.
Yeah.
That's a good super fight.
I am familiar with the sinking feeling of getting a very bad hand, Kurt, so I can sympathize. Anyway, over on the YouTube, we're starting to get a little more attention, and our old friend from, I think, like our first episode, Atomic Bulldog Art, has left some comments. For the Schultz episode, he says, I was excited for some Schultz talk. That was hard to say. The man is something else. However, there's some premium salt here thrown from Zach.
Yeah. Oops.
Only premium salt from Zach.
Yeah, I'm high grade. Yeah, I don't know, JC, some people were like, we wanted more Schultz talk, but Layla was so goddamn interesting. That's the problem, is a lot of these, we're going to be revisiting a lot of these artists. We're going to have to be. So we're going to pick parts of their lives. We're going to go more into history at times. We're going to have guests on again, and we can talk more about the artist and less about their career. So bear with us.
Yeah.
We went deep on Corbin, I think.
We did, actually. That was philosophical, and I had some weird bonding moment there that was bizarre, and I think I had some salient thoughts on Hellboy and stuff there too, which was kind of neat.
Yeah.
So, pretty decent episode, I think.
Oh yeah.
And, I think now that Claire has taught me how to do reels, it's doing well on Instagram. The Instagrams.
Indeed. The Grams.
The Grams. That's what JC and I
are. Is there Instagram for our time?
Yeah, we just both in our time.
Probably is.
Hey, Grams.
Instagramma? Instagrampa?
Yeah.
I guarantee you those are already taken.
Hey, yeah, I'm gonna be OnlyFans Instagram. There has to be an Instagrams. I can just, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I don't
Never
either.
mind.
I'm sorry.
You're fired, Clara.
It's my fault. I understand. All right, let me squeeze in the last one here again from Atomic Bulldog Art. This is for the art show you and I did, Zach.
Okay.
In quotes, you're referring to the Cape Fallen, I believe. This is a quote, so I'm willing to say it. One of the worst stories ever written. LOL. Joe is one of my favorite books, and I'd consider killing a man for that page. One day I'll have to hear why you think so over a couple of beers.
No, just probably me being pissy. Part of the problem with me is I'm ready to fucking go for the title every time, and some people just want to have fun, and I'm not fun to work with. I'm not fucking all. It's intense. I demand greatness from others, and I'm willing to put in the work to try and achieve that myself. So I don't think the story quite did the service of what the character is capable of. That being said, it's none of my fucking business. Jason Ciaramella is fucking wonderful and a buddy, but sometimes I just say things a little loose. So take things with a grain of salt. I don't need to be bashing anyone.
Premium salt, though.
Premium salt. So, I can say things in the heat because I didn't enjoy the story. That's just the reality of it. I thought the first issue was great, and it just kind of became the character fucking became Jason Voorhees, and I don't have interest in that. And that's the problem why I need to do my own books rather than torturing my fellow creatives, trying to get shit that they don't need to do, they don't have to do, and their job isn't to appease me. So yeah, that was pretty shitty of me to say. That being said, it really solidified what I was going to do with my career, because I knew I couldn't leave stories outside of my hands. Secret of that book, I actually fucking edited it. So
really,
Chris Ryle quit, and my the temp editor we had never read the scripts. So that was a tough day at work when I found that out.
I'm sure that had something to do with it.
It was just a terrible experience because Greg Goldstein was the publisher, Ted Adam, there's so much I'm so looking forward to. My wife was doing sit-ups, I think, behind me. There's wife.
Hello.
Bye, babe. She's going horseback riding.
Yay.
Please don't Superman yourself. That flew over Clara's head, huh?
It's a reference to Christopher Reeve, who was a friend of mine, Zach.
Yeah,
I'm very sorry. I don't want her to break her neck like Christopher Reeves did.
No, don't.
Is that okay?
Did I ever tell you that he's from my town?
No. We'll have to save that for the next episode. Well, we could do a quick one. Just circling back, don't let a flippant comment of me stick long. I have to fill fucking sound and air. Now, dude, did I believe that in the moment? Probably. Did I want a different story? Fuck yes. I would have been much happier. But there's a lot of problems with that book. And like Greg Goldstein being top of the fucking list of being garbage fucking humans that ruin everything. So editor wasn't reading shit. Ryle left. It was a goddamn nightmare. I did my best work in that while I still had energy. And that's probably why I'm most bitter. My fucking fingers hurt and I'm running out of gas here. And I felt like I gave 100% on that. Nelson gave even more than that. It was the most brilliant work we ever did. And it was on a story that was just a fucking slow fart noise. And I don't fucking have time for that. I don't have fucking time. I have a limited life. So it's my responsibility to understand what went wrong. And that's what I did. I'm only doing my own fucking books. I did Hellboy just because Mike Mignola said, hey, can I write you a fucking story? Yes, you can, Mike. So that's why I fucking did it. It's bucket list stuff. But after that, it's just my own. As you well know, I've just had a reckoning and even gotten rid of all my cover work. I don't want to be part of this comic book industry, everyone. I fucking hate it. It's gross. It's rotten from top to bottom. Rotten. It's fucking rotten.
Don't say it. No. Stop it.
And so I can make comics without being part. I don't need fucking awards. I don't need this or that. I don't need any of that shit. I can make my fucking books without it. Somebody will publish them. I'm never worried about that. I'm just never speaking to a fucking publisher or an editor or any of those motherfuckers because they can all suck dicks and die. So
who produces the slowest farts in the comic book industry?
I would say it's usually the COO of the company.
Well, I mean, out of creators, like, does Peter David have like the slowest fart?
Chris Claremont has. I've had 3 different people tell me Chris Claremont fart stories. So Tom Snagowski's being the best. So I would say his fart game is probably on spec.
You know who was a
3
bad
separate
farter?
people brought it up to me unsolicited.
You know who was a bad farter was Larry King.
My
My sister who's staying with me, she used to work with Larry King. He would just freely and audibly fart.
Tell me what you need right now.
He's like, my suspenders are a little tight today. Like, he would just fart freely and openly.
Here's a hot beef. Tell me what you need to think, Kermit.
Where did it all start? Tell me. I mean, he would just beef freely. So I guess it's Claremont and Larry King, the late Larry King.
I don't know. I just have heard 3 people tell me unsolicited fart story. I mean, I'm sure I've had epic farts before. My wife could tell good fart stories, so we've all been there.
Yeah.
Clara killed her plant from farting.
I did.
A fly trap. I told her don't feed it farts, and she refused to listen to me.
It was sleep farts, though. I didn't know I was doing it.
That's sleep farts are in the same category as date rape. It's basically the same. Basically the same.
Oh no!
For what
It was a
did to
sleep
my
fart.
plant,
It was
yeah.
I sleep farted in the corner. Just get in there. Just get in there.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
Hey, we're at an hour, and now that we've done fart date rape humor,
sleep farts.
We're officially the worst. Well, thank you everybody who watched. This was fun as always.
And check out our time / knee knocking Zach and flop foot JC. At our time.
I'll be the Harrison Ford lookalike.
Yes, I'm 50 years old in one day. Nubile in the art time industry. Come use me. Use me.
Oh,
Every hole's for sale. Come on. Clara, take us home, young lady.
That's it. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a wonderful night. Thank you for your support, and we will see you next time.
Love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.